It's time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. Debbie accelerates northeastward into northern and western New York, as well as northern New England. Heavy rains, flash flooding are likely along and northeast of the track of Debbie. Below average temperatures persist across the northern to central plains and upper to mid-Mississippi Valley. Above average temperatures continue across the west into the south, but with less record highs compared to previous days. Fire weather conditions and poor air quality continues across the Northwest, Great Basin, and into the northern Rockies. Closer to home, active weather conditions will continue across the mountains and areas mainly along the Continental Divide. A better chance for area-wide storms will happen on Tuesday. The main concerns with these storms will be strong winds and heavy rainfall, which could lead to flash flooding. Dust and dander remain high to very high in the basin. Those subject to sinus and or breathing ailments, be advised and prepared. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. At yesterday's County Commission meeting, County Commissioner Amy Barella proposed an opposition to the State of New Mexico Construction Industry Division mandate, which requires electric vehicle charging equipment in all new homes.
The reason why that I've brought this here is because of the new ruling with the construction industry mandating the electric vehicle charges on all new construction. And I just know that we are working our fannies off trying to get low-income housing in here and provide this, and this is going to be damaging to that process. And so I want to just make a stance that Otero County does not support that electric vehicle chargers be installed in every single new constructed home, that if you have an electric car, then you put it in yourself.
The opposition passed, meaning if you build a home in Otero County, it's up to you what goes into your construction. A group of protesters were also at the county meeting to discuss the death of Elijah Hadley, including tribe member Miriam Fossum, who for many years was an ER nurse. She commented about the fact that Sheriff David Black was not present.
The pain that I feel inside, and to know that Sheriff Black doesn't have the cojones to be here today.
Damn.
He needs to resign, and that officer, that sheriff, he needs to be named, even though we do already know his name. He needs to step down. They need to fire him. He needs to be charged with murder.
It's important to remember that without hearing the other side, it is impossible to cast a valid judgment. Employment terminations and criminal charges will not bring Elijah back. And it's probably for the best that the sheriff was not present, as he would have been likely inundated with questions and demands which he could not legally or ethically answer at this time. Now, I agree that the deputy should not have fired more rounds, but to call it murder? That's a legal term. And does it really fit the situation? Pastor Jerry Martinez of LULAC was also present, and he commented that he feels there is a lack of transparency from the Otero County Sheriff's Office.
We will also ask for a lot of questions to Sheriff Black, but he does not seem to be available for any statements. And so I'm glad that it's been sent to an independent prosecutor. Hopefully the right questions and the right answers will come about and that the truth comes about. And as a pastor, I think we all need to be more in a loving type of a position instead of angry and hate.
A website has been set up, justiceforelijah.org. Jerry spoke with me after the meeting, and his extended comments in full have been posted onto our YouTube channel. I'm not trying to be one-sided on this issue, but it's impossible to obtain comment from the other side due to gag orders and whatnot. The New Mexico Charter Schools Division Analysis have recommended against the Sacramento School of Engineering and Sciences in Alamogordo. The application as submitted had some glaring issues and concerns, as well as a very harsh accusation of plagiarism in the denial recommendation by the state leadership. The final decision will be made later this month by the New Mexico State Board of Education. You can see those documents by visiting alamogordotownnews.org. The Disaster Recovery Center, operated by FEMA and the state of New Mexico at the Angus Church of the Nazarene, will cease operations on Tuesday, August 13th at 7 p.m. FEMA help is still available at this time at the Recovery Center. The Village of Ruidoso Mayor Lynn Crawford appeared on KRWG and spoke about what you should do when visiting the forests.
Keep an eye on the weather, and so, you already have the reverse 911 built into your phone. Just make sure your location app on your phone is on so that you'll get the signals. But listen to, if we have sirens or whatever going off in the community or whatever, that, you make sure you're in high ground. And, we have low areas of town that are going to flood, but the majority of the town, you're okay in it.
Disaster recovery centers provide one-on-one help to New Mexicans affected by the South Fork and Salt fires, as well as the flooding. Also, don't forget, if you've been turned down, there is an appeals process. Well, today is Friday. Let's get a cat chat from Kitty City, NM.
Welcome to this week's edition of Cat Chat. Let's take a break from talking about kittens this week. For many different reasons, there are lots of people who choose to adopt adult or senior cats rather than kittens. A huge plus for an adult cat is that his or her personality has already been developed. They have much to offer, not the least of which is a warm and affectionate companion who asks for nothing more than a comfortable lap. Kitty City has two pairs of brothers who fit in this category very nicely. First are Garfield and Ace, who are 2.5-year-old males and quite established in their adulthood. Garfield is a handsome, deep orange tabby. Ace is equally handsome boy with the same bold orange color, but with lots of whites. Both have short fur. They were very well cared for and loved in their former home. Garfield is the more outgoing of the two, but Ace, who may exhibit a slight shyness upon first meeting, very quickly warms up and displays his appreciation for head rubs from visitors. Both kitties are social and very friendly with everyone. They are neutered, microchipped, and current on all vaccinations. These boys are bonded and must adopt together. An adopter will be given a special adoption fee for the two of them. The second pair of brothers are Midnight and Daybreak, who turn 8 years old in April. The contrast between these boys could not be greater when it comes to appearance. Midnight is a beautiful Bombay breed, black in color. Daybreak is a handsome flame point Siamese mix with buff coloring. Both are short hairs. Both these boys are very bonded, having been together in their only home with their adoring owner since 4 months old. Sadly, their owner passed away, and a family member brought the boys to Kitty City to find another home where they can remain together. These guys are wonderful, loving cats. Because they are senior cats, the adoption fee is only $30 for the first cat and $15 for the second. The boys are neutered and current on all rabies vaccinations. We hope you can stop by Kitty City soon to meet Ace and Garfield, or Midnight and Daybreak, and our many other awesome adult cats. Or you can check out the Kitty City website at www.kittycitynm.com to see all of our cats and kittens available for adoption. Tomorrow, Saturday, August 10, Kitty City and Alamogordo Animal Control will be at the White Sands Mall from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for our adoption event. We will have a plethora of kittens and some adult cats available for adoption. Alamogordo Animal Control will also have dogs available for adoption. Remember, the summer special still continues. The first cat or kitten at full adoption price, the second cat or kitten at half price. Stop by the White Sands Mall tomorrow, Saturday, August 10, and the next two Saturdays, August 17 and 24, to visit the Kitty City adoption event. Your forever friend is waiting for you. This has been this week's edition of Cat Chat. I'm Kathy Denton, and I will be talking to you next week from Kitty City. Kitty City and you. No one loves them better.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Local news from local perspectives, from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Local sports, local events, and local happenings and more. Nonprofit owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
When you're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's newly created Office of Housing is set to improve housing availability and affordability across the state. They're now accepting applications for the team that will tackle these issues, including the position of Director of Statewide Homelessness Initiatives. The core part of the work of the Office of Housing will be to create a coordinated and strategic response to the growing unhoused, and the new Director of Statewide Homelessness Initiatives will lead this important effort. In addition, the Office of Housing is seeking people with experience in housing development, programs, policy, regulatory frameworks, data, and demographics, among others. Rather than hire for specific positions, the talent-based hiring approach encourages application to explain how they want to apply their skill sets to the challenge of solving New Mexico's housing crisis. The office is especially seeking talented and innovative thinkers to build out a strategic approach for the state. Las Cruces Public Schools are looking at installing weapon detection systems in all of their middle and high schools, days after authorities found two 15-year-olds with handguns at Oregon Mountain High.
We know that having weapons on our campuses is not a new incident. Our Board of Education has requested reports and has looked at those incidents as most recent as last semester.
Kelly Jameson, the Director of Communications for Las Cruces Public Schools, speaking with KVIA.
It would require us to determine how students and where students would come onto campus, both at the beginning of the school day and then after lunch for our high school students who leave campus.
The district intends to place one system per school, but are still drafting plans. Despite the use of technology, the district says communication will always remain important, and that there are still some steps before the implementation of the systems, including board approval. In the meantime,
that's always the best policy for students on campus. If something's not right and you know it's not right, tell an adult so that we can address it safely before something happens.
They say they hope implementation will happen this semester. So I ask you, is this a good idea? If so, why hasn't this been rolled out into all schools already? Or if it's a bad idea, what do you suggest we do? What say you? A bat found dead in the Bandelier National Monument tested positive for rabies, marking the first confirmed rabies case of the year for northern New Mexico. The dead bat was found in the Cottonwood picnic area on July 7th. Anyone who touched or had contact with any bat in that area is encouraged to contact their healthcare provider or the New Mexico Department of Health. Also, if you find yourself near a bat, dead or alive, don't touch it. For more information about rabies, visit the New Mexico Department of Health website. U.S. Army Sergeant Sam Prince died as a prisoner of war on September 22nd of 1942. He was held at a POW camp, and he was finally laid to rest yesterday after nearly 82 years. Prince was subjected to the Baton Death March. Prince's family paid their final respects to him at Lawn Haven Memorial Gardens in Clovis. This comes after Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency personnel accounted for him on April 25th. He had previously been interred as an unknown soldier for the last 72 years. Clovis and Curry County first responders and personnel from the New Mexico State Police, the New Mexico National Guard, and Cannon Air Force Base attended the services. Sports and weather are next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
The second annual Alamogordo Tiger Football A-Day is happening today, so swing by Tiger Stadium to support our varsity and JV teams as they compete in the black and gold game. Plus, you can meet and greet with the players after the game. Also, the Tularosa Wildcat football team has a scrimmage in Artesia happening Thursday at 4. Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies, winds gusting up to 18 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight, winds gusting as high as 17. Sunny skies tomorrow. Your high today in the basin, 95, low tonight of 69, high tomorrow, 95 degrees. In Cloudcroft, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and storms. New precipitation amounts less than 1/10 of an inch expected. Winds gusting as high as 22 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Winds gusting as high as 18. Sunny tomorrow with winds gusting up to 19. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 72. Low tonight of 52. High tomorrow, 73 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. That concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.